We'll repeat that she said on the stand. At one point, she said that a male escort had it in her mouth and she actually choked on it. And it was at that point someone in the courtroom actually had to walk out of the door there while, Diddy sat at the defense table listening on here. But as she was describing these events where she said that, there were multiple male escorts that were happening at one time, these freak-offs would happen for 2, 3, the longest 4 days at a time. And control is the word we need to talk about. That is what prosecutors really laid out. And you heard Cassie describe how every action during these freak-offs, which were between her and male escorts, not necessarily between her and her boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs, he sat off to the side really directing things according to her and masquerading along with what he wanted to see. But he was in control, she said, of exactly how they did everything, from the platform shoes that she needed to wear, the clothes that she needed to wear occasionally, masks, wigs, whether or not the male escort could ejaculate, where he could ejaculate. Everything she said was controlled by him. Mind you, Brian, his children, 6 children, are in the courtroom at this point listening to all of this. And the jury was picked knowing that they needed a certain level of comfort to hear these types of descriptions. It was very emotional and really tough to hear, Brian.
What would you do if your partner took the stand and revealed the darkest parts of their past in front of the world? Would you stand by them, stay silent, or break under the pressure? Well, Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, made his choice, and the internet is stunned. Let's start right here, with loyalty. After everything Cassie shared during her emotional testimony in court, Alex Fine didn't flinch. He didn't walk out. He didn't shift blame. He stood by her, literally. Front row, silent, focused, present. And after her testimony, when the internet was buzzing with speculation, he posted just one message to Instagram. No names, no shade, just 5 words. Protect Black women, believe Black women. That wasn't just a repost, that was a statement. A masterclass in standing by your partner when it matters most.
That was discussed this morning. Will the public, will the media be able to see video of these freak-offs? During opening statements, we heard that the jurors are going to be able to see video of these freak-offs. These are sexual encounters between, for instance, Cassie Ventura, as well as another woman, Jane, and male escorts, as well as Sean Diddy Combs. But there's an argument that only the jurors will be able to see these. So we'll have to see what happens. The judge is taking that under advisement. Right now, what's taking place is the continuation of the cross-examination of a man by the name of Daniel Phillip. Julie, he is the male stripper that was hired by, he said, Cassie to engage.
Cassie took the witness stand and told the courtroom her truth. Her voice may have trembled, but her message was clear. She spoke about manipulation, pain, and how hard it was to find her way back to herself. Courtroom reporters said it was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. The atmosphere, intense, unforgettable. But through it all, Alex Fine was right there, never looking away. Once Cassie's testimony wrapped, the internet exploded with one question. How did Alex sit through that? Some couldn't believe he stayed. Others wondered if he knew the full story ahead of time. And a few asked if this was the ultimate betrayal or the ultimate show of strength. One thing's for sure, it got people talking.
I think you want somebody who wants to serve, someone eager to serve, because that suggests that person might be inclined toward a celebrity like Diddy. I would also, in this case, I would want men, not because men support abuse, but I could see this being very difficult for women jurors. I would want younger jurors as well. I don't know that older jurors would be good for him.
Do you care where they get their news? Do you care if they go on social media?
I wouldn't care so much about social media. Certainly watching you on Law and Crime would be a real problem. But no, I wouldn't care too much. I mean, in fact, if they were reading the celebrity media, TMZ, Rolling Stone, that might be an encouraging thing for Diddy's counsel.
Now, Ben, according to the court today, they expect preemptory challenges on Friday. I have a lot of jurors who saw the Cassie tape. You have a lot of jurors who were exposed to this case or something that's been going on with Sean Combs, know who he is, maybe know a list of the celebrities or places that were potentially going to be brought up in this case. Difficulty of sitting 8 weeks on this jury, but they're going to be seeing and hearing a lot. Do you think that it's going to be tough to sit a fair and impartial jury in Sean Combs' criminal case?
Well, I think they will have a fair and impartial jury. I think the problem is going to come in, with the Cassandra Ventura's tape. I mean, whether you've seen that before, you're certainly going to see that during the trial. And I think that's highly problematic, obviously, for Diddy, whether they've seen it before or not.
Yeah, because the prosecution is saying she was not only running away from Combs, she was running away from a freak-off, that there was a sex worker in that hotel room. And that goes to the charge of sex trafficking and also racketeering, because sex trafficking is a part of that as well. Okay, so the trial's about to start. We know that Sean Combs early in the week said to the court, I'm feeling a little nervous today. Let's say openings begin day 1, May 12th, okay? What do you advise your celebrity client to do and not to do as this trial begins and progresses for 8 weeks?
I would remind him to remember that every second he is in the courtroom, at least one juror and probably more are going to be looking at him. So he should act as if he were testifying every second he's in the courtroom.
Now let's address the elephant in the room. Did Alex know everything before she testified? According to many close to the situation, he likely knew some things, but maybe not the full extent. And honestly, that makes sense. Survivors often share their trauma in layers. When they're ready, healing doesn't come all at once, it unfolds over time. And Alex, he stayed through it all.
Here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Well, Diddy docket, civil and criminal, of course. Yet we're live tweeting the criminal trial of Sean Combs. Yesterday, they finished with the male dancer Daniel Phillip, and then Cassie took the stand. It was really, it was something.
The internet has been giving Alex Fine serious credit. They've been calling him a rare example of what healthy support looks like. He didn't try to fix Cassie's story or silence it. He let her speak, and he backed her up without turning it into a show. That's powerful. That's real. And that's rare. Since Alex's quiet but powerful response, the internet has shown major support. Social media is calling him a protector, a real man, and even the blueprint. And Cassie, she's finally being heard. Not as a victim, but as a survivor with a strong partner beside her. Their unity has become a symbol, and for many, it's exactly the kind of message they've been waiting to see in the middle of a messy public trial.
So we're taking a little bit of a break. Cassie just testified for about an hour and a half. She walked in with a brown fitted dress on. She was clearly visibly pregnant. She began by talking about how frequently she was abused when asked by prosecutors. She said things like too frequently, and said that she had knots on her head before, busted lips, swollen lip, bruises, that these things were normal for her. When asked about what is a freak off, she talked about it being an experience where Combs watched Ventura have sex with other men, and she said that she learned about this concept within the first year of their relationship. Why she went along with it. When asked that question, she said, I was 22. I felt a sense of responsibility. I was confused, nervous, wanted to make him happy. So this is only the first hour and a half of her testimony. We're taking a lunch break, but when we come back, I'm sure we'll get more into the details of their relationship. Remember though, this is a case about a criminal enterprise racketeering. So they're laying the foundation as to the relationship between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura, Cassandra Ventura, but it's moving kind of slow right now, but we'll be providing another update when we get more information.
Let's be real. This isn't just another celebrity story. It's a moment that matters. Cassie took the stand and spoke her truth. And Alex, he didn't fold under pressure. He didn't distance himself to protect his image. He listened. He supported. He showed up. It's a reminder that when someone you love is reliving trauma, your role isn't to question their past, it's to hold space for their healing.
Here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse in Lower Manhattan, today, Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. It's day 2 for real after the jury selection of the U.S. versus Sean Combs trial. Yesterday, we covered it in great detail. The jury selection in which The juror from the UN made it on, despite his claims that his Office of Counterterrorism doesn't work with U.S. law enforcement. It's not credible. But then there were the opening statements, hammering hard. Kenny Garagos did it for the defense, among their 9 lawyers. And she said this is about private personal conduct and that he may be a terrible person, but it's not a federal RICO charge. The government hammered away, saying you're going to hear from Jane, Cassie, Mia.
Let's not sugarcoat it. Most people wouldn't have handled this the way Alex did. Some might have walked out. Some might have stayed silent. Others might have lashed out online or tried to spin the narrative in their favor. But Alex didn't do any of that. He stayed still, calm, and completely focused on Cassie. It's what emotional strength looks like, without needing to say much at all.
Cassie Ventura is sharing new details about her relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. While testifying against her ex in his sex trafficking trial, the pregnant singer, who is currently expecting her 3rd child with husband Alex Fine, reveals to the jury that there was actually an overlap for when she and the late Kim Porter dated the rap mogul. In court, Ventura says, per NBC News, that she and Combs first started their physical relationship when they went on a trip to Miami. It was when they returned home that they began spending more time together, though the relationship was, quote, not public for many years. Ventura adds that Combs didn't want it to, quote, look bad, but also knew it was because of his children and personal things like his family. When she was asked who he was with at the time, Ventura replies, quote, Kim Porter. Combs and Porter, who unexpectedly died in 2018, reportedly dated on and off from 1994 to 2007, with them becoming parents to son Christian, twin daughters Delilah and Jessie, and Porter's son Quincy, whom she had from a previous relationship. Their romance ended in 2007, with her choosing to pack up all of her belongings and move out of their home while Combs was out of town. Porter has previously said to Essence magazine that she wanted it to be, quote, dramatic, adding, quote, if I pack up everything, twins and all, it means I'm out. Puffy's an action person, not a talk person. Ventura and Combs reportedly dated from 2007 to 2018, with her sharing after their romance that he was frequently violent towards the end of their relationship.
Moments like this break the internet not because of drama, but because of truth. When a man shows this level of support without making it about himself, people notice. When a woman speaks about her trauma publicly and gets the backing she deserves, it shakes the culture. Alex didn't ask for the spotlight, but when it landed on him, he didn't run. He used it to amplify a message that matters. So whether you're someone who followed this case closely, or you just saw the headlines, one thing is clear: Cassie spoke her truth. And Alex Fine, he listened, supported, and never once stepped out of frame. This isn't just relationship goals, it's emotional courage in the face of the hardest truth.
Why is it impossible?
Because I'm a black man.
You can be
I
scared.
have so many other things to be fearful of. A clown is not going to scare me.
Really?
Yes. I'm not afraid of clowns.
But I heard that you were.
Thanks for watching What's Poppin'. If you think Alex Fine showed the world what real support looks like, drop a heart in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates as this trial continues to unfold. And let us know, would you stand strong like Alex if your partner's past came to light in court? Until next time, stay loud, stay curious, and keep asking, what's poppin'?